Hello, welcome to Otter Pop Culture, and today we're going over Rina Sawayama's new album called Sawayama. This is her very first album, her official debut of who she is, and let me say, I loved it. Loved it. Instant, great album. Instant bops inside of it. A lot of like broken, they break down so well, with like all the topics is intense, and to the point in some topics I didn't think that are not often sung about, which is really great, and also topics that should be sang about, saying should be sang about, people should sing about, but they don't. But she has. I'm gonna go by she because that's what I did the research, try to look it up, but it came. I thought the pronoun would be they, but it's she. So I apologize if it isn't accurate. I'm doing my best. But with that said, great album. The album talks about a lot of things, including family, which is one of the biggest things I feel like a lot of people. I feel like as a queer community, we get actually the definitions broken down of family, because we have so many different types of family directions, and I feel like she definitely represents that in a good portion of her album, but not in a way that it's, because everybody else is talking about like, oh, blood is thicker than water, and family is all you need. Just hug your mom, hug your dad, hug your uncle, whatever. But what you don't realize is that, but some people don't have don't have that choice, not because their family's dead or because that could be a choice, but it's more the fact that just because some people are being disowned or being kicked out of their house. A lot of us queer community is pretty much like kicked out of the house or disowned, or just have a group of family just doesn't understand who they are. And so I give a complete round of applause and to Rina, because this definitely is exactly, it's spewing out, she's putting out so much stuff that made me want to go, oh my god, finally somebody said it, you know? For example, Dynasty is the very first song, and one thing I do compliment her on is that she unapologetically gives you hard rock without any, she doesn't care. She doesn't care if you don't like that or not. You're gonna deal with it, because you know, if you go through this full song, the hard rock part plays a great role into it, and there's a relief part to it that she'll give you like a little pop, and she brings it back to the rock. I completely compliment her. There's not a lot of pop singers that will do that without making it seem too generic or too like shouting out like, look guys, I'm doing rock. Like she does a direction where she doesn't, it's the music sells itself, you know? So for the first song, Dynasty, I felt like it completely talks about family and pain, and she talks about how she doesn't want to follow that line. She doesn't want to. A lot of people think that because they had a shitty life and were raised with family that didn't really treat them right, or worse, they think that they're going to repeat the same mistakes. So if your dad's an alcoholic, you think you're going to be an alcoholic. I have that same thing too, because my dad was an alcoholic, and I thought that I would be the same thing, but fortunately I'm not. But it's one of those things that's just like, she's saying, it's like, I'm not gonna go down that path. I refuse to let that be my narrative of story, that I'm just gonna fall into the same pain. Like, she refuses to do that. She's gonna try her best not to let that pass down. So she is her own dynasty. A couple of songs that I liked, XS, love that song. It threw me off completely, because her songs are one of those things you have to listen, you have to give it the full listen, because if you just kind of like, oh, this beginning sucks, and move on to the next one, you're missing so much song. You're missing so much, like, key changes. You're missing so many, like, there's a key change in Who's Gonna Save You, the 10th song, and it's so nice, so unexpected. XS is pretty much about the ridiculousness of consumption, and how people they're just asking for more and more as the world's dying, as we're going through a lot of like social issues. There's still companies just shitting out different type of like stuff to have you buy it. And one of the things that she points out is make me less so I want more. Make me feel less than so it makes me feel like I need to find some meaning in these mere materialistic directions. I think it's a great nod, a great explanation of how that is. And it's like the metaphors are great, the straightforward talk is great. I love it. Comme des Garcons, I hope I pronounced that right. Like the boys, it's great song, amazing song. I love it. One of the top parts I love is elevate your vision when you put me on the cover. It's pretty much talking about I think it's what I got from it is that she's pretty much saying that there's a only way sometimes people kind of use male words or male actions to show that they're cool, to show that they're like, oh, I'm amazing, I'm amazing. But then when we go to the clubs, this is the part that I actually looked up. When we go to the clubs, she says that all of a sudden the word bitch becomes an issue, or becomes a good thing, but when you're outside the club, it's a horrible thing, because that's what men call women, especially when the ones that are just showing confidence. But when you go to the club and you show confidence, then you're that bitch. Then bitch is okay, you know? So I think she kind of points that out, and definitely doing with the little metaphors, with the title of the song being a name of a Japanese brand, a fashion brand, so it kind of goes hand in hand with each other. Akasaka Sad is one of my very favorite songs. I really love it. I think it's another direction of talking about a space where you feel like you don't belong in the hometown that you live in, or you also don't belong in the place that you moved to. So to go more direct, she pretty much, her family lives in Japan, moved from Japan to London, slash Tokyo to London, and it pretty much just turned into, she wonders, she's like, I'm having so much issues going back to Japan. I don't feel like I completely belong, even though I was born and like partially raised there. It's just like, I don't feel like I belong. And then on top of that, she goes to London. She's like, I know for sure that I moved, like, this is not my entire home either. Like, I'm just split between two places. And I definitely can relate to that myself. And I feel like she wonders if her parents felt the same way, and I think that's a great, great thing. One of the things that people don't talk about, but I'm glad that she talks about it. Paradising is insane. I love it. I think the idea of having a song that reminds you of a Japanese video game arcade is what she was going for. Nailed it completely. And it talks about, like, she definitely wasn't like the perfect innocent child. She went out, she definitely followed the band, became a groupie and everything, and her mom had to track her down on MSN messaging to find where she is, and she always seems to. But it's a great little, like, rebel teen, let me live my life to my fullest kind of thing, and I love it. I love the sound. The production's amazing. Love Me For Me, great 90s sound. I love the 90s, kind of like, it reminds me of a 90s pop group getting ready to, like, dance, like, I'm not going to try to do examples, because I'm so, my 90s is very confusing because of different two cultures, but I do like the sound. I think this is also pretty much talking about how she wants to learn how to love herself before she loves other people. And I know people talk about that a lot, about having, there's a controversy going over with the RuPaul's Drag Race when she says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? Well, she used that as an example in this song, because she goes in more detail. She pretty much says, just like, because I haven't loved myself, I react to things, I do things, like, there's stuff that I don't understand of myself, and you're trying to fix me and try to find these remedies, and the more you look inside of me, the more you find remedies, but they're not what's satisfying me, make me feel whole, make me feel like I'm accomplishing this on my own, I'm fixing myself. And so she doesn't have that space to do so. So she repeats herself, says, like, how can you love yourself? If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? Sorry. Little allergies. So I love that one. I love Best Friend, which was produced by Kyle Scherzer, who did a lot of Carly Rae Jepsen songs, which is ironic because the same thing that she mentions is that her best friend this used to be her best friend. They used to go to karaoke like bars and sing Carly Rae Jepsen full loud and everything. I think that's kind of cool. I think it's kind of great that she put those two kind of fell in together. I think in pretty much talking about another thing, another topic you don't really think about is she talks about how she goes on Facebook for the first time in a long time, and she sees that one of her friends has a baby, and she didn't really know, had no idea, and she notices like, wow, we really do not know that much about, we really fell off. Like, I don't know that much about you, you don't know that much about me, and it seems like she kind of regrets it, but she also understands the meaning of of the natural path of like falling off with a friend. But yeah, and then Tokyo Love Tokyo Love Hotel, love it. I think it's pretty much talking about how she's saying that she's writing a song about her love for Japan, but is wondering if she's contributing to the idea that writing a song about Japan in English is contrasting everything that she's writing the song about. So she's saying just like, people that come to Japan or come to Tokyo, they're only there for a short time. They're just here to experience some of the temporary like stuff and then go. Like they're not taking any of the experience with them or taking in the full culture as it is. They just want the fun parts. And she names it and she nods to the whole like people putting Japanese tattoos, characters on their as tattoos on their arm and not really know what it means. And going to the hotels are in Japan that they have like offer short stays, and she used as a metaphor to how like outside people come to Japan and Tokyo and how they deal with it. Just like it's so take it all in and then throw it all away once they leave. Chosen Family, top song, another song that I really like. Pretty much talking about Chosen Family. Biggest topic about this whole album is family, and one of the things that she says, she's like, we don't need to be related to relate. And I think that what she's leaning into the idea of chosen family, and that not everybody blood isn't thicker than water, and it's not, and just because your family isn't the last family you'll ever have, including if your family's treating you like shit, you know, you have other people that you can call family, friends, people that you look up to, you know. And finally, I know this is a very long review, but I really want to get into these songs. The last song is Snakeskin, these are all the songs I really liked. Snakeskin was amazing, iconically, just a great ending to an album. Pretty much the same melodic sound as the same sound of Final Fantasy's Victory fanfare scene, and I think that's really cool. The sound of it, and she really leaned into some of the video game direction, and I am a huge fan of when artists put like video game references and stuff. I think she did a great job with that, including the pretend despair kind of thing. Like I love that too. This is pretty much talking about accepting yourself in the fullest amount, flaws and all. And I think that she nailed it perfectly. I think I give this album a 9 out of 10. I think that she took a while to let this album come out, but it's complete worth the wait. Please get into it. It's really great. Talks about a lot of deep topics that a lot of us queer members do go through, and I think that she definitely gives you that. Bonus. I like this song. I didn't really star it as one of my favorite songs, but I do want to nod to it. The FTFU. Pretty much hardcore rock, and it pretty much talks about the microaggressions and racism towards POCs that we go through on the daily, at every minute, pretty much. And I love the screamo at the very end. It was really nice, and I love just you can feel the anger inside of it. But yeah, so leave a comment below, tell me what you thought about the album. I think I already said I gave it a 9 out of 10. And I will see you guys in the next video.